All right, Sammy, let's take a look at your video from last week. That was a fun day. Um, Hope you enjoyed it. Here's a couple things that we were talking about that day that we were working on and that you should be working on going forward. Let's check the video out.
All right, we're good. Go ahead.
All right. It's pretty good skiing. I know you haven't been skiing much this year, so almost, you came in maybe a tad rusty, but I think you did a great job. What we were working on that day was a lot of more using ankles and knees to roll the skis up on edge as opposed to going right to hip angulation like that. So you can see there, it's pretty much all, kind of using just the hip to get the skis up on edge. And we really want to edge the skis from the snow up, meaning using ankles and knees first, and then we'll move the hip to the inside of the turn as speeds warrant it. Number two, you've got to widen that stance. It's just really hard to roll both skis up to a high edge angle platform with the feet that narrow. Plus, it's not very stable. So, widen the feet, widen the stance, hip width. That goes along. Besides just your boots and skis, you got to have your knees the same way. Looks like here you kind of almost tucking the outside or right now left knee behind the other practically, and we want to make sure that we roll up that inside one just as much as the outside one, and you can see there that your inside one is not rolled up, as much as your outside. You can take a look, especially at the binding heels, and you can see one sticking much more straight up than the other. So we want to widen the stance. That's a good width right there. And we just want to really roll up those skis using ankles and knees right there at the top of the turn and pressure when we enter fall line, through fall line. And a lot of your pressure is down below. So you kind of really roll them up enough, you kind of feather or skid the top of the turn a little bit. You see the spray and then pressure down here. But it's going to start from having a little wider stance, a little more consistent width to the feet and skis, allowing us to really roll up those skis using ankles and knees first. The top of the turn, create a platform to push against with your outside foot. Let's check you. I think we're going to see from the side maybe in a second here. We just need to roll those skis up much more up on edge at the top of the turn. But again, better width, more width would help. All right, pretty good stance. We have good ankle flexion. We like that. We like the angle of the back matching the shin. That is all good. That's our goal, to have this kind of matching here, and that's great. does not look like there you have much of a, the lead change. In other words, your inside foot is not too far forward. That's great. Um, you know, arms. We talked about it. They definitely help. It's not the most important thing in the world, but they clearly help. And if we can just get those elbows in front of the body, move those elbows forward, you're just going to get more weight coming down into the front of the ski. Let's try to move the elbows and keep them in front of the body the whole time. We just mentioned before you didn't have much of a lead change, but there's a little bit too much. So one thing about sometimes pulling the inside foot back, pull it back and tip it up just as much as the outside, but pressure the outside ski. But all in all, some good skiing. So let's work on a little bit wider stance, hip width stance at both the boot skis and knees. Roll them both up using ankles and knees at the top of the turn to a high edge angle platform and really push against that outside ski. Want to be carving the top of the turn, pressuring the top of the turn through fall line and not kind of like, late in fall line and below fall line. But great job that day. Keep working on it.